Let me preface this episode of Minor Grievances by saying that this video is not, I repeat, not about what style I deem artistically superior based on my own subjective views. This is instead a rant on the notion that anime and cartoons are somehow different. That being said, let's begin. When I'm on Facebook derping around, I often see this little image right here. Please stop calling us cartoons. This image baffled me because I've always thought anime shows are cartoons by the very definition. So to make sure I wasn't wildly incorrect in my assumption, I decided to look up the definitions. And it turns out I wasn't wrong. Cartoon. Noun. A simple drawing showing the features of its subjects in an exaggerated way, in a newspaper or magazine. Verb. Make a drawing of someone in a simplified or exaggerated way. This begs the question, is anime drawn? Yes. Is it exaggerated? Well, when's the last time you saw someone with a tiny nose and eyes that comprise of roughly 40% of their head? So yes, I'd say it's exaggerated. Debate over, right? Going to the definitions of cartoon, anime should fall into that category quite easily. Anyone who thinks otherwise need to have a dictionary dropped in their lap or given a link to Google. But apparently no, because there are numerous people online who maintain the belief that anime is not just different than cartoons, but somehow across the board objectively superior despite the show's type, audience, and execution. This makes me think a good chunk of the anime fandom community are elitist snobs. I'm not blind to aesthetic differences between Japanese and American animation, and I'm certainly not going to argue that shows like Cowboy Bebop, Big O, or Trigun are somehow on the same level as My Gym Partner's a Monkey or God Help You Teen Titans Go, but they are aimed at totally different audiences and have a different method of execution. Even so, remember that anime fits into the definition of cartoon quite snugly. This is why you don't mess around with semantics, people. Guys like me who actually know the definitions of words will check you on these things. Now, the counter argument some of you are probably already thinking to yourselves is, oh, but it's from Japan and has a different art style and therefore it's not the same. Now, let's argue for a moment that was the case. Does this mean Young Justice isn't a cartoon in the same way 16 is because the art style is different? I guess by that leap in logic, Starry Night and Picasso Piece aren't paintings in the same way. There are also plenty of varying art styles when it comes to anime as well. Check out Tetsuya Nomura or Masami Obari for that example. But are they somehow different by the definition? If you were to ask me, anime isn't defined by the country it was created in, but rather its style and its look. But to be fair, let's also check the definition. Anime. Noun. Japanese movie and television animation, often having a science fiction theme and sometimes including violent or explicitly sexual material. Well, that's all fine and dandy, but what makes it not a cartoon? Nothing in anime's definition separates it from being a cartoon in any way. If you continue to maintain this belief that they are separate, well, fine, be grammatically correct all you want. But might I offer an explanation? I think people tend to differentiate between cartoons and anime based on where it was created. Animation varies from country to country, and of course, planet-wide gaps are bound to have different cultures and, of course, different ideas of art. But in reality, the proper term should be Western animation versus anime. You'd have to be Stevie Wonder or every adult in a Cinnamon Toast Crunch commercial not to be able to see the differences between anime and Western animation. It's quite obvious. But let me pose a question real fast. What about Western animated shows that are heavily influenced by anime? Shows like Avatar: The Last Airbender, Teen Titans, Ben 10, Generator X, or The Boondocks especially? Or what about anime that's inspired by Western animation like Dead Leaves? And how about Western artists who are clearly not of Japanese descent who draw in an anime style? You can find them overpopulating DeviantArt talking about their Naruto OCs. And how about artists like Joe Madureira who's a combination of Western style / manga anime art? If the place of origin really dictates what is and what isn't an anime, then might I suggest that's a tad bit elitist? Yeah, this might look like anime, but the person who drew it was born in Kansas. Not anime! Poser weeaboo! Now that attitude is also elitist. What I or anyone thinks of an artistic piece's place of origin has the exact same level of importance as Jim Sterling's next attempt at being a game journalist, or what kind of phone I have. It doesn't matter. What does matter is one simple question. Do you like it? Yes or no? Now keep in mind, I'm not saying that I prefer Western animation over anime, or converse the exact opposite. I just don't see any difference outside of art style. Whichever one you prefer is your own taste, and I'm not going to shit on you for that. I am, however, going to call bullshit on this image and the various Facebook pages who continue to perpetuate this non-existent gap between cartoons and anime. They are one and the same. It's neither insulting nor demeaning to be called a cartoon. It'd be like me trying to deny being a skinny white dude. If it looks like a duck, sounds like a duck, and acts like a duck, it ain't a turkey. It's a duck. It's a fucking duck. Get over it. I'm Blue Mages. This was a Minor Grievance.